The night shift at the old museum was a graveyard of silent history. Liam, the new security guard, sat at his desk, the only sound a low, steady hum from the server room. He was a rookie, and the thought of being alone with a million dead things in the dead of night was enough to keep him on edge. His first few hours passed uneventfully, a parade of silent, grainy camera feeds. Then, at 3:17 a.m., something changed. A camera feed showing the dinosaur exhibit flickered. A single bone, a femur from a monstrous sauropod, detached from the massive skeleton and clattered onto the floor. Liam's blood ran cold. He rewound the footage, his breath caught in his throat. There was no one there. The bone simply fell. He grabbed his radio, his hand shaking. "Central," he whispered. "I think we have a—" Static. The radio was dead. The humming from the server room stopped. The lights flickered off and then back on, casting deep, dancing shadows in the long, dark hallways. Liam's monitors all went to a flat, buzzing static. A new sound echoed through the museum, a low, grinding noise like stone on stone. It was coming from the dinosaur exhibit. Armed with nothing but a heavy flashlight, he crept down the hall. The air grew colder with every step. When he reached the entrance to the exhibit, he saw it. The massive sauropod skeleton was wrong. The bones were shifting, not falling. They were rearranging themselves, clicking and scraping in a grotesque dance. The hum from the server room returned, but it was a different sound now. It was a deep, resonant tone, almost like a chant. Liam shined his flashlight on the exhibit's main plaque. The text read, "The sauropod fossils are over 150 million years old and were excavated from a vast, ancient burial ground." He turned back to the skeleton. The bones had finished their rearrangement. The new form was not that of a dinosaur. It was a humanoid shape, impossibly tall, with a long, sinuous neck and two pairs of arms ending in wicked claws. Its skull, the giant head of the sauropod, was tilted down as if studying him. The creature's head let out a sound like grinding teeth and broken glass. Liam didn't wait. He turned and ran, his flashlight beam bouncing wildly off the glass cases and marble busts. He could hear it behind him, its footfalls a heavy, rhythmic thud that vibrated through the floor. It was a fast thud, too fast for something so massive. It was learning to move. It was getting closer. He burst into the Egyptian exhibit, its golden sarcophagi gleaming in the dim light. He slammed the door behind him and locked it, but the lock was a joke. He could hear the creature's massive hands scraping against the other side. He scrambled through the exhibit, his eyes darting for a place to hide. He found a small, dark closet used for cleaning supplies and squeezed inside, pulling the door shut just as the museum hall went silent. The silence was worse than the sound. From inside the closet, a new sound began. A low, whispered chant, carried on a cold draft. It wasn't the creature. It was coming from all around him. He turned on his phone's camera, its light barely illuminating the small space. On the floor, a dustpan and a broom lay next to a bucket. The bucket was rattling. The broom was swaying. The dustpan was rattling a rhythm. He saw a shape, a shadowy form beginning to rise from the cleaning supplies, its whispered chant growing louder. The whispers were no longer just a sound. They were words, and they were trying to tell him something. "You're not alone," the whispers hissed. "They're all here. We're all here." The door to the cleaning closet burst open, revealing the towering bone monster from the dinosaur exhibit. But behind it, in the hall, he could now see other shapes beginning to form from the artifacts. The pharaohs from their sarcophagi, the samurai from their armor, the cavemen from their stones. They were all awakening, all summoned by the chanting. They were all here, and they were all looking at him. Liam dropped his phone. The last thing he saw before the screen went dark was a reflection in the lens, a reflection of the bucket and the broom, perfectly still, no longer a part of the floor, but standing behind him.